this is Jenny from Just Being Me, and you're listening to the Learning to Love Yourself podcast, the show that inspires you to put yourself first.
Learning to love yourself on the path to happiness. Learning to love yourself on the path to happiness.
Welcome to our Q&A session, where you can send in your questions and I'll answer them on the podcast. So our question was, we have a core, an inner self that knows who we are, what we need, how we function, and the answers we need to create our future. Then along comes experiences. The positive ones are great. They allow your inner self to build and try out new things because you've got this, right? You innately know that. The negative experiences, however, are different. They cover up our innate inner self. And if you don't have enough positive experiences and understanding to know that the negative feelings are only temporary and you can find the lessons and grow from them, then those negative experiences can shroud your inner being and change your belief system to a negative one. You see, in a negative part of your life, for example, when my mother-in-law died, my negatives completely took over my life. But because of my knowledge, I knew I needed to find some positives about myself. I knew I needed a better balance. And by focusing only on my loss and feeling awful, because, are you ready for this? I should be supporting my husband more. It was his mum after all. Hear the beating up of myself in that? So I started adding in positives to my life in the form of daily affirmations. I started with I am amazing, and I still do that one to this day. I started saying it in my mind to start with because it didn't feel true. But I knew that I had to persevere. I knew that I had to train my brain to believe it. I started adding in gratitudes for things that happened during the day or things that I felt lucky to have, like waking up in the morning or my heart beating, because these things aren't a given. So I felt so grateful for them. I gave myself some quiet time each day. I meditated, walked, or did some breath work. It was a time of no doing. It required my brain not to think. This quiet time allowed my inner self to break out of the shroud, and I could hear it, probably properly for the first time in my life. The more practice I gave to all of these things, the better I felt. The more I began to understand and to get to know me. The me that loves me. The me that understands my values. The me that knows I need looking after to be able to give to others far more effectively. Because one of the wonderful things I discovered was by looking after me first, my relationships with others got better. I recognized that by spending time on me, it almost gave permission for others to do the same thing, and they felt better. You see, we are conditioned in this country to believe that looking after ourselves is selfish and that we should focus on the well-being of others to be seen as good. And we all want to be good. But actually, focusing on others and not ourselves creates more problems, as we all need to feel heard and seen. Very often we give far more than we get back, and the giving becomes taken for granted, the norm, and seen as this is what makes us feel good. So seeing you and hearing you for the things that you do stops. And that's where we get into a problem. Unless you feel validated for the things that you do, you start feeling negative. Your validation comes from your inner self. So therefore we're going round in this circle again. So the moral I'm trying to say to you is if you give to yourself, if you make sure that your cup is full each day, and you give to others from the overflow of that cup, you and everyone around you is going to feel better. If you're struggling with any of the questions that we've listened to today, please come and talk to me. My first session is free, and we actually get on with some mindset work whilst we're there. Go to my website, which is www.jennyfield.co.uk. Go into the coaching tab at the top and book yourself a free session. Thanks for listening today. If you'd like to know more, you can find all the links down below. Oh, and don't forget to press subscribe so you can catch the next one. See you soon.